I have no idea how this quality is going to be because my camera doesn't even have a viewfinder. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Reagan and I want to talk to you all about the stuff that I've been reading, all the stuff that I want to read. I have so much that I want to read and that's what today's video is, so hold on. I feel like a librarian pushing her little cart around the library to restock all these books. This is my little library. I wanted to talk about all of the books that I want to read this fall. Yeah, let's start pulling things off the shelf. By shelf, I mean this cart that I've had since freshman year of college, and I used to put all my toiletries on, but now that I'm living at home and it's just sitting there, I can be just like all the other book girlies and put all of my unread books on here. Okay, let's start pulling some books, shall we? Okay, I've got quite a few here. Let's see if I can lift them without them all falling. Ooh. This is pretty hefty. Okay, so let's go through all the things that I want to read this fall. I definitely won't be getting to all of these because I'm not that fast of a reader, unfortunately, and my average recently has kind of been like 7-ish books a month. Starting out strong, we have The Virgin Suicides. I have seen the movie like a really long time ago, I think maybe when I was in high school, and I really liked it. I love Sofia Coppola, and I just feel like this kind of gives like fall melancholy, and that's definitely the vibe that I like. Next, I want to read My Dark Vanessa. I have had this on my TBR for actually years. I've owned this book for years and I just simply have not picked it up. What I've heard is that it is Lolita retold from the girl's perspective, and I've never read Lolita. That's definitely something that I want to read in the future. Probably not anytime soon because I don't have that book, but I do have this one. So I want to read this, and a YouTuber that I watch, her name is Lexi. I think her other like handle is Newly Nova. She loves this book, like preaches about it in almost every single video that I've watched of hers, and I really like her book taste. I think that I would enjoy this. I'm sure it's obviously dark. It's gonna be dark. And I'm ready for that. I feel like the fall is all about dark vibes. And I love that. Okay, next, Jane Eyre. This copy of Jane Eyre is just so gorgeous. It screams fall to me. It's just so beautiful. I got this at a bookstore in New York City, and I don't know anything about Jane Eyre. I've never seen any of like the movie adaptations for it. I know it's a classic. I'm super excited to read it. This copy screams fall. I don't even know if this book is fall related at all, or like spooky, I guess, but I'll find out. This might be one of my favorite book covers that I have. Next is The Book Thief. I read this, I think, in middle school for class, which is insane because I think it's a banned book now, and that's really unfortunate because the story I know is amazing. I've seen the movie many times, so I know what happens in it. It's definitely a really tragic story, but I know, like, I love the movie so much. I think the movie is amazing, and I've just heard that the book is so good, and I want to get back into it. I have no memory of what the book is about, really. I know that it's told from the perspective of death, which is so interesting. I've never read a book like that. Next, American Psycho. This just screams the fall to me. Obviously, because everyone and their mother is, what's his name? Patrick Bateman, of course. Everyone and their mother is Patrick Bateman for Halloween. And I actually started reading this last year in October, but I never got through it. I really liked it. I love hearing his like inner monologue, and you can hear that in the movie too. But it's just so much more spelled out in the book, obviously, because it's told from his perspective. But I think it's just so interesting. The movie is, you know, it's campy. It's fun. It's creepy. It's gory. And I don't think that the book is like that. From what I've heard about the book specifically, I don't think it like is like that, but I could be totally wrong. Who knows? But I'll probably be reading this in October, and I'm excited. I really did like it. It's just so dense, and it's so long, actually. It's 399 pages, and the text is like kind of small. Yeah, excited about that one. Okay, these next ones are kind of silly. I, growing up, was never a Twilight person. I actually was not allowed to watch any of the movies when I was a kid. I never was part of this lore growing up. Never read the books, never watched the movies. Finally read Twilight #1 like a few Octobers ago, and it was so vibey. Forks, Washington is just like, I can picture it so well in my mind. And I love the movies now as an adult, which is hilarious because I would have ate them up as a kid. So I feel a little bit robbed of that. So I want to experience Twilight, the whole series. As an adult, the first book, so cheesy. But did I read it in a day? Yes, because it was so easy to go through and the text is massive on the page. Yeah, it's just so easy to read. And, you know, I want to read the rest of the series. This one, I'm actually so excited for. I found this in a little free library by my house. Inside of it, I already took it out, but inside of it, I found a receipt for buying this book in 2005. But yeah, I'm so excited about this one. Coraline, just some backstory about myself. I saw this in theaters with my grandpa when it came out, and I wore a Cinderella dress to it because I thought it was a princess movie. And I was sorely mistaken. I was traumatized. It was so scary. I think I was maybe like 5 or 6. It really stuck with me up until I think middle school or high school. I was so afraid of that movie. And I never read the book because of my bad experience with the movie. And I think in high school something clicked where I was like, I need to face this fear. And then I watched Coraline and I loved it because I love stop motion or claymation. And it became one of my favorite movies of all time. And I love it so much. I'm so glad I got over that fear because it's just so amazing. And I really want to read this. And I'm so excited to have this from the little free library. And oh my god, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit in October around Halloween. And then I can watch the movie. Yes. Okay, next I have this book. This is Shady Hollow. It's the first book in a series. I got this at a local bookstore. I was recommended this book from the bookseller in the bookshop. And she was like, this is such like a cute little cozy mystery and you should totally get into the series because it's adorable. I mean, just look at that cover. It looks so cute. It's got a little fox on the cover. Like, this is so giving Fantastic Mr. Fox, and that's also one of my favorite movies. This is a cozy murder mystery, and I don't even know if it's set in the fall, but that just screams fall vibes to me. All the covers of the series are so beautiful, and I know that there is a fall themed one specifically, but I don't know how far that is down in the series, and I don't even know if I'm gonna like this because I've never heard anyone talk about it on the internet. The only time I've heard someone talk about it was to my face at a bookstore when she was recommending it to me. And you know, she sold me on it. It kind of is giving kids book, but it wasn't in the kids section, it was in the mystery section. So I'm really intrigued as to what's gonna happen here. But yeah, definitely a fall read here. Okay, next, this book I'm so excited about. It is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I've seen so much discourse about this book on the internet. I think it was super popular last fall time. This premise sounds so amazing. She's a professor and she goes to some Nordic country and she goes there to a small remote town to study the fairy population that is there. And that sounds so amazing to me. I love the Nordic vibes. This could even be more winter-ish read for me. I guess the fairies are kind of like sprite sort of people, but they're also a little evil. So that is really just screaming like Halloween to me. Halloween spirits, creatures, you know? I'm so excited for this. I've heard that people like it. I've heard that people hate it. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I feel like I'm gonna be in the group that really likes it. This seems like so up my alley. I'm like a little bit scared to say that I'm gonna read this because I know the crazy, crazy, crazy hype following that Sarah J. Maas has on the internet. And you're gonna drag me for this cover probably. Okay, so look at this. Look at how beat up this copy is of Throne of Glass, the first book. I got this book when I was in middle school. My name is written in it. I read it in middle school, and I read the first, I think 2 or maybe 3 books. I don't know how many were out in the series when I was reading them. My librarian and my best friends loved these books, and so I read them because of it, but I don't remember a single thing that happens. And it's so huge on the internet. Everyone's talking about it. And I kind of just want to, dive into the world. Fantasy screams fall to me. I've really been in the fantasy kind of mood, and I think that, how many books is this? Like 7? I think 7 books. Kind of sounds amazing. It sounds scary, but it sounds amazing. I'm a little afraid I'm not gonna like it just because I remember loving it in middle school, and I think my taste since middle school has maybe changed a little bit within fantasy because I read so much fantasy when I was a kid. I don't know if I'm gonna love this. Who knows? I'll definitely read Assassin's Blade first because I feel like that's the order that I hear people say that that's the best way. So if I do decide to read this, I'll read Assassin's Blade in September. Anyways, let's keep going. A Man Called Ove. Is it Ove? 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 I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Ove. I have had this book on my shelf since I think 2021, and every single year I'm like, okay, I need to read this, I need to read this, I need to read this, and I simply haven't. I don't know why. It sounds so good. And I recently read Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann, which is the same author, and it was amazing. It was so good. So good. And I know that this one is supposed to be better. So I need to get to this. I need to get to this. And I think that I will. Like, I'm actually itching to read this because Friedrich Bachmann's writing style was just so good. So good. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. I have never read a Kristen Hanna book. All the people that I love on BookTube, like Destiny Sidwell, who else has read this? Maybe Sarah Caroli. I don't know. They love this book, or just Kristen Hanna in general, and I need to see what the hype is about. If people are crying over this massive, massive book, I have to know. I have to know. I also love this cover. I mean, it's not generally something I would go for, but I love the like gold and the Eiffel Tower. And it's soon to be a major motion picture. Gotta read that before the movie comes out. I also got this massive book for like $3 at a used bookstore. It was originally $18. What a save. What a steal. This book I want to read so bad. Like, this might just have to be my next read. It's The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. I haven't read Tomorrow. I really want to, but I'm not in love with the whole video game aspect of it. I don't really care about video games. This sounds great. It is about a man who runs a bookstore and his sales are down, like the worst that he's ever had, and this kind of surprise opens up his life back again and kind of makes life worth living again. I mean, kind of spoiler with this cover, the back never says what it is, but I think I know what it is. Spoiler maybe if you don't want to look at it, but yeah. Got this from a used bookstore, and when I was checking out, the person who was ringing me out, he said that this is one of his favorite books ever. When I bought it on my birthday at the used bookstore, and I was fully intending to go home and just read it then, but I saw Sarah Caroli's video when she read this, and she said that this is like winter vibes. I think we're gonna meet that in the middle, where I'm gonna read it in the fall. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 books. That's 14 books that I maybe want to read. Now that I have all of these physical books, I'm going to talk to you about the ones that I don't have that I really want to read in the fall because, you know, I'm a freak. I have 60-ish unread books and I still want ones that I don't have. I feel like that's a reader's biggest struggle, is wanting to read something while having physical books on your TBR. and all you can think about is that book that you don't have. And even if you get it, like, you're not gonna read it right away, because that never happens to me. Never. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, I've got a few books on my radar that I really want to read in the fall, so we'll talk about those really quickly. First one that I want to read, maybe, is The Night Circus. I don't want to buy this copy because I've heard really such mixed reviews about it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. I really want to read this through my library. I'm a huge fan of Libby. I like adore Libby. I always have something that I'm listening to on audiobook through Libby because you'll never catch me paying for an audiobook. Definitely gonna get that on Libby because every single time that I search that up or it comes recommended to me, there's never a line. Ever. There's never a line. I don't know why. And I've almost borrowed it so many times because there's never a line, but then I'm like, oof, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But I recently found this YouTuber called Olive's Book Nook, and she and her husband both say that they love that book. So, you know, and I trust her. I've watched a few of her videos, but I trust her. So I want to try that one out. The Night Circus. The next one that I want to read is A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I have heard, I don't even know what it's about, but I've just heard so many people love it, and I love the cover. I think it's so cute, and I love anything witchy. Like, that's just so my vibe. Another one that I want to read is One Dark Window. One thing about me is I will get onto the hype train of books from like BookTube, Book Talk, Bookstagram, whatever, but I'll wait months and months, maybe even a year. Maybe a year. I love doing that because I feel like I'm not influenced by other people's opinions right in the moment, and I'm not influenced by the hype and the hype train, you know? But yeah, I really want to read One Dark Window because I think that the story sounds super interesting, and I don't think I've ever read a gothic fantasy. I don't know if I've ever read anything gothic particularly, and I really want to try that out. And I know that the magic system has something to do with like tarot cards and acquiring them, and I think that that just sounds so fun. And I also love the cover, so I would love to go and buy it. I just think that the like gold around the edges, like the gold foiling around the edges, is so pretty, and I just want to own it. So yeah, One Dark Window, and then what is the other one? I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, The 7-Year Slip. I want to read that one. I don't know if I've ever read like a fall-ish romance. I don't think I have any romance on this list. Maybe there is some romance. I think Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies has some romance. Oh, I guess Twilight is all romance. I want to read The 7-Year Slip because I know that it's set in New York City, which is one of my favorite settings of all time. I would so move there in a heartbeat if I could. I think it's set in the fall, and I like New York in the fall is just so gorgeous. And yeah, I really want to read a book in that setting, and I think that that one sounds super interesting to me. The whole like apartment being transported back 7 years in the past, I think that that sounds really cool. And I've never read an actually Poston. I've never read one of her books before, and I really want to try one out. Is there anything else? I don't know. I think we'll keep it at that for now, but I think that I'll do another October TBR when that comes around, and that will have like all of my set spooky books. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. Let's get to picking the September TBR. I am gonna put Assassin's Blade on my TBR, and I don't think I'm gonna buy the rest of the series. I think I'm gonna try and get it through the library just because the covers are all new. I have these two books in the old printing. I don't really want to have mismatched books, unfortunately. So I think I'll get this from the library. Maybe if I love the series, I'll go back and buy the series in one sort of collection. This one. I talked so much about how I want to read this one. I want to read it so bad. I might just have to put it in my September TBR. Okay, let's just do that. Put that there. Okay, The Nightingale, Kristen Hanna. Gonna put that one up there because I really want to get to that one. And I don't know if that one like necessarily screams fall. And September is that kind of in-between month where it's way too hot to be fall, but you know, you don't really want to call it summer because, you know, August is the end of the summer. So it's like that weird in-between. So I think that this is good for the weird in-between. I think we'll do The Birds and Suicides. I think this also gives like in-between month vibes to me a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that one. Maybe, okay, wait. Let's try Shady Hollow because I've had this for so long and, you know, oh my god, there's a map in here. This is really cute, actually. This map. You know, the leaves are still on the trees in this map, so maybe this is September. The first character in the cast of characters is called Gladys Honeysuckle. That's so cute. That's such a cute little name. And then maybe if I like the series or want to continue the series, I can get the fall one specifically. Okay, so there's that. Should we do another? Because technically I've got Assassin's Blade, and so technically that's 5. Maybe we should be ambitious and add one more. I think I'm gonna do this one. Because I want to read this one so bad too. This one and The Storied Life of AJ Fickery give me kind of similar vibes where it's like old man struggling. Because that's what this one is about, is like a grumpy old man. They both are calling my name so loudly I can't ignore them. These old men. They're screaming at me to read them. Okay. That's 5 plus Assassin's Blade, so that's 6 that I'm picking for September. I'm super excited about all of these. Cool. These ones I'm gonna set aside for, you know, October, November. Let's see what we have left. Cute. They're all so dark. Oh my god. That's like black. That'll be the rest of the fall, plus the ones that I haven't bought. But maybe we'll be buying, who knows. Maybe I'll get them from the library. Maybe I'll be good. Okay, I feel like this is such a good stack. I mean, at least for me. I'm super excited about this. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I'm super excited to read all these. And if you want to see me read them, you should subscribe down below. You know, I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next one, which I think will be my July and August wrap up. And if not, then it will be something else super fun and interesting.